Have you ever wondered what you'd do if a heart attack struck you or a loved one right now? Every second counts in those critical moments. Yet most people freeze, unsure of the right steps to take. This video could be the difference between life and death. And I'm not exaggerating. Today, I'm sharing 7 life-saving actions you must know to survive a heart attack, tailored for you, our American audience, with real stories and practical steps you can act on immediately. Why watch until the end? First, you'll learn the exact actions that saved people like Emma Thompson, a 70-year-old from Portland who turned a terrifying moment into a second chance at life with her grandchildren. Second, these steps are simple but powerful. Backed by medical science, they can reduce heart strain by over 30% and increase survival rates by more than 40%. Third, you'll discover common mistakes like driving yourself to the hospital that could cost you everything. From sitting down to chewing aspirin to staying conscious, each action is a piece of the puzzle to protect your heart in that 90-minute golden time. Don't think heart attacks only happen to others. 65-year-old Sarah Johnson thought she was healthy until a crushing pain changed everything. This video equips you with clear, actionable steps to act fast, communicate with 911, and prepare now to save yourself or someone else. Stick with us to the end. You'll walk away empowered with knowledge that could save a life. If you are not subscribed, subscribe and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support means a lot to me, and if you enjoyed this video, you can help me continue spreading the valuable lessons by liking and sharing it. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. If you don't, please comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and make better videos for you now. Let's begin. The smaller blood vessels surrounding the heart can sometimes compensate when a major artery is blocked, and the heart muscle itself can often withstand the crisis for about 10 to 15 minutes. This critical window, often called the golden time, is vital. It's the precious time frame in which immediate action can save a life. Unfortunately, many people unknowingly waste these invaluable minutes. Why does this happen? Simply put, panic and fear take over, and in those overwhelming moments, people often freeze or make the wrong choices, which can worsen the outcome. If you're tempted to stop reading here, I urge you to reconsider. This information can truly make the difference between survival and tragedy. The first of the 7 essential actions I'm going to share with you is the single most important step you can take to increase your chances of surviving a heart attack. To help illustrate this, let me tell you about a real person and a real situation. Meet Linda Miller, a 70-year-old woman living in suburban Portland, Oregon. Last summer, Linda was doing one of those everyday chores we all know well, washing dishes alone in her kitchen. Suddenly, she started feeling a sharp, intense pain radiating from her left shoulder down into her arm. At first, she thought it was just a stiff muscle, or maybe a pinched nerve. Nothing serious. But as minutes passed, the pain spread to her chest and worsened, and she began sweating uncontrollably. Her body was signaling danger. Thankfully, Linda had learned about the 7 life-saving steps I'm sharing with you today, and she immediately put them into practice. Because of her quick response, Linda is now enjoying precious moments with her grandchildren, living life to the fullest. So, what exactly should you do the moment you suspect a heart attack is happening? Here it is, the first and most critical action. The very instant you feel those warning signs, sit down or lie down right away. This simple step is more important than anything else you might think of doing. When you're standing, your heart has to pump blood against gravity to the entire body, which significantly increases the workload and strain on an already struggling heart. By sitting or lying down, you reduce the heart's effort by more than 30%, giving it a much-needed break during a critical time. Let me share another story, this time about John Miller, a 68-year-old man from Chicago. When John felt sudden chest pain one afternoon, he didn't hesitate. He immediately sat down on his living room sofa and stayed calm. This simple decision played a huge role in preventing further damage to his heart and was ultimately a lifesaver. Here's a crucial tip. Avoid lying flat on a hard floor. If you lie down, place a pillow or cushion under your head and elevate your legs slightly. This position helps blood flow back to your heart more efficiently and keeps your blood pressure more stable. Now, sitting or lying down is just the first step. There's another critical action you need to take without delay. The next essential move is to call 911 immediately. Many people make a fatal mistake here. They hesitate, thinking maybe it's nothing, or I'll call my family first. These delays can cost you everything. Consider the story of Robert Johnson, a 67-year-old man living in Austin, Texas. One night, Robert felt a sharp pain in his chest as he was walking to the bathroom. His family was asleep, and he didn't want to wake them, so he tried to bear the pain alone. He waited for 30 agonizing minutes before finally calling 911. Thanks to his decision, he was rushed to the hospital in time, and his life was saved. However, his doctor told him something sobering. If you had waited another 30 minutes, the outcome could have been fatal. Why is waiting so dangerous? During a heart attack, the heart muscle suffers damage every single minute. On average, about 10% of the heart muscle tissue can be lost every minute without treatment. That means after just 30 minutes, more than half of the heart could be permanently damaged, leaving long-term consequences, or even death. The clock is ticking, and the faster you act, the better your chance to survive and recover. If you call 911 quickly, trained emergency responders can begin providing crucial first aid even before you reach the hospital. Once you arrive at the hospital, emergency doctors can perform life-saving procedures to reopen the blocked artery, restoring blood flow to the heart, and dramatically increasing your chances of survival. But timing is everything. Acting fast can save your heart muscle from permanent damage. So, how exactly should you communicate when you call 911 during a heart attack? The key is to keep it simple, clear and calm when your call connects. Take a deep breath and calmly say something like this. I'm alone. I think I'm having a heart attack. My chest hurts badly, and I'm short of breath. My address is your location. That's all the information you need to give. You don't have to explain every detail or try to sound like a doctor. Just get the essential facts across so help can be on the way as soon as possible. Here's a critical point to remember. Many people hesitate to call for help, choosing to wait and see if the symptoms pass. That hesitation can be deadly. A heart attack is a race against time. If blood flow isn't restored within the so-called 90-minute golden window, permanent damage to the heart muscle is very likely. Let me tell you about another case that highlights this perfectly. Meet Sarah Johnson, a 63-year-old woman from Boise, Idaho, who always considered herself healthy. Heart disease seemed like something other people worried about. Not her. One Saturday afternoon, while she was cleaning her house, Sarah suddenly felt a tight, crushing pain in her chest. At first, she dismissed it, thinking it was just muscle strain, or maybe shoulder stiffness from cleaning. But as the pain intensified, and she started sweating profusely, she knew something wasn't right. Sarah didn't wait. She immediately called 911. She was rushed to the hospital where doctors performed emergency catheterization and successfully reopened her blocked artery. Her cardiologist later told her, if you had waited even 10 minutes longer, your heart function could have been reduced by half. That 10 minutes made all the difference. There are a few more things to keep in mind when you call 911 during a heart attack. First, make sure your smartphone has enough battery power. If it's running low, move closer to a charger if you can. When the dispatcher asks questions, answer them clearly and accurately. Tell them your age, gender, symptoms, any medications you take, and if you have allergies. Never hang up until they tell you to. Keep the line open and listen carefully to their instructions. They might guide you through important first aid steps while help is on the way. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here. With me, calling 911 is only the start. While you're waiting for emergency responders to arrive, there's another crucial step that has saved thousands of lives and should never be overlooked. Chew and swallow one aspirin tablet immediately. You might be surprised at how powerful this simple act is. Aspirin works by thinning the blood and helping to dissolve clots that block blood vessels, which can restore blood flow to your heart. Here's the important part. You have to chew the aspirin. Swallowing a whole aspirin pill with water slows the absorption. It can take up to 30 minutes to work. Chewing the tablet allows the medication to enter your bloodstream much faster, sometimes within 5 minutes, which can be life-saving. Let me share another real-life example. Linda Carter, a 72-year-old woman from Denver, Colorado, was getting ready to go shopping one morning when she was suddenly struck by severe crushing chest pain. Linda didn't panic. She quickly sat down on a nearby bench, called 911, and chewed an aspirin tablet she always kept in her purse. The ambulance arrived quickly, and hospital tests confirmed she was having a heart attack. Thanks to her quick thinking and fast action, the damage to Linda's heart was surprisingly minimal. Her doctor said, "If you hadn't taken aspirin so quickly, the damage to your heart wouldn't have been this limited. That was an excellent decision." Aspirin is truly an effective first aid treatment for heart attacks. However, there are some important precautions to be aware of. If you're allergic to aspirin or suffer from severe asthma, you should never take aspirin during a heart emergency. It can increase the risk of serious bleeding or other complications. Also, never take aspirin that belongs to someone else because of possible drug interactions or contraindications. Always use your medication, and if you're unsure, wait for medical advice before taking aspirin. If you don't currently have aspirin on hand, don't worry. This is exactly why preparing now is so important. After learning this, make it a point to keep aspirin easily accessible, whether in your purse, at home, or in your car, so you're ready if you ever need it. So far, we've covered some essential steps: sitting or lying down right away, calling 911 without hesitation, and chewing an aspirin tablet to help thin your blood. But the process isn't over yet. The next action I'm about to share is incredibly effective at reducing the strain on your heart and protecting your life during a heart attack. The next critical step is to focus on your breathing, specifically to breathe slowly and deeply. You might be thinking, isn't breathing just something automatic? How can that help? But this is a medically important technique that should never be underestimated. When a heart attack happens, your heart's ability to pump blood efficiently drops significantly. This means less oxygen reaches your organs and tissues, including your brain and heart itself. If you start breathing shallowly and rapidly in response to the pain and anxiety, it only puts more stress on your heart, potentially making your symptoms worse and escalating the crisis faster. So, what's the right way to breathe in this situation? Here's a simple, effective method you can try. First, slowly inhale through your nose for a count of 4 seconds. Hold that breath gently for 2 seconds. Then slowly exhale through your mouth for 6 seconds. Repeat this pattern over and over. This controlled breathing helps stabilize your heart rate, lowers your blood pressure, and reduces the overall workload on your heart. Let me share a real-life example to illustrate this. Michael Brown, a 69-year-old man from Raleigh, North Carolina, was relaxing at home watching TV when he suddenly felt intense chest pain and a heavy pressure across his chest. He didn't panic. Instead, Michael immediately sat down on his sofa, called 911, and chewed an aspirin. Then, remembering this breathing technique, he focused on slow, deep breaths, consciously calming himself. When the ambulance arrived and paramedics checked his vital signs, they were impressed. Michael's doctor later told him, "I've never seen a heart attack patient with such stable blood pressure and heart rate upon arrival. Your breathing technique made a huge difference." Slow, deep breathing truly acts like a natural medicine for your heart during this emergency. But a quick warning, rushing your breaths or panicking can make things worse. The key is to breathe calmly and slowly, focusing especially on a longer exhale. Exhaling activates the parasympathetic nervous system, the part of your nervous system that slows down your heart rate and helps you relax naturally. Your posture matters, too. If breathing feels difficult, don't lie flat on your back instead. Lean slightly against a sturdy chair or sofa with a backrest. Find the position that feels most comfortable and makes breathing easier. If you've been following these steps so far, you're doing a fantastic job. But there's one more crucial action that many people overlook. And yet it can improve survival rates by over 40%. This next step involves reaching out to family or someone close to you. You might think, I've already called 911, that's enough, right? Not quite. Contacting a family member, trusted neighbor, or close friend is vital to protect your health and safety during treatment and afterward. Here's why the order matters. Always call 911 first. Then, as soon as you're able, notify your family or someone nearby. Why? Because once you arrive at the hospital, you may be too weak or even unconscious to answer important questions about your medical history. Doctors will need to know things like, what medical conditions do you have? What medications are you currently taking? Do you have any allergies? Without this information, your treatment could be delayed or complicated. Additionally, if you lose consciousness during the ambulance ride, or while receiving treatment at the hospital, you won't be able to provide any important medical information to doctors and nurses. That's why a family member or a trusted person must get to the hospital as quickly as possible. Having someone there who knows your medical history can make all the difference in how quickly and effectively you receive care. Let me share a real example. Patricia Evans, a 74-year-old woman from Seattle, Washington, experienced crushing chest pain one evening after dinner. Recognizing the seriousness of her symptoms, Patricia called 911 immediately after making the call. She sent a brief but crucial text message to her daughter. Chest pain, being taken to hospital. Come quickly. That short message contained all the vital information her daughter needed to rush to her side. When Patricia arrived at the hospital, her daughter was there to answer the doctor's questions with precise details. My mom has high blood pressure and diabetes. She takes these medications. This information helped medical staff provide prompt, tailored treatment, allowing Patricia to recover without complications. This story highlights the importance of deciding in advance whom to contact if something happens to you. If your family members live far away or unavailable, consider notifying a trusted neighbor, close friend, apartment manager, or someone from your community who can step in when needed. Make sure they know ahead of time, if something happens, I'll call you. Also, take advantage of your smartphone's emergency features like the medical ID or emergency info, which paramedics can access even when your phone is locked. Many smartphones allow you to set up this vital information in advance, and it can save precious minutes. Additionally, posting emergency contact information on your refrigerator door or near the front door is surprisingly effective. Emergency responders often mention how helpful it is to find this info right away. Don't get too comfortable yet. The next set of actions includes things you absolutely must avoid. Dangerous mistakes that many people make without realizing it. One of the most critical rules to remember is never to attempt to drive yourself to the hospital during a suspected heart attack. This mistake is surprisingly common. People often think calling an ambulance is too much trouble, or I'll get there faster on my own, so they grab their car keys and try to drive. This is extremely risky, almost like a form of self-endangerment. During a heart attack, there's a very real chance you could suddenly lose consciousness. If that happens while you're behind the wheel, you're not only risking your own life, but also the lives of other drivers, passengers, and pedestrians. Plus, driving itself places extra physical strain on your heart. Gripping the steering wheel tightly, pressing on the gas or brake pedals, all of these actions increase the workload on an already compromised heart. Let me tell you about David Lee, a 66-year-old man from Miami, Florida. One day, while playing golf, David suddenly felt sharp chest pain. At first, he thought resting would ease the pain, but when the discomfort worsened, he decided he should go to the hospital. He tried to drive himself, but thankfully a close friend recognized the danger and stopped him, saying, "No, call 911 now." That intervention snapped David out of his denial, and he called for an ambulance. His doctor later told him, if you had driven, you likely would have lost consciousness on the highway, causing a serious accident. David's life was saved just in time because he heeded his friend's advice. So always call an ambulance. It's the safest way to get emergency care quickly and without unnecessary risks. While you wait for the ambulance to arrive, take a few extra precautions. Make sure to unlock your front door. Why is this important? Because heart attack symptoms can worsen quickly, and many people lose consciousness by the time emergency responders reach them. If your door is locked, paramedics may have to break it down to get inside, wasting precious 5 to 10 minutes during the most critical moments. This delay can have serious consequences. Opening any outer gates or security doors, and making sure responders have easy access will help save those critical minutes. If you have pets, try to keep them in a separate room so they don't interfere with the responders. By taking these small but essential steps, you're helping ensure that emergency personnel can reach you and provide care as fast as possible. Let me tell you about Thomas Clark, a 69-year-old man from Boston, Massachusetts. One evening, shortly after dinner, Thomas began feeling chest pain. Recognizing the seriousness, he didn't hesitate. He immediately called 911. Right after making the call, Thomas unlocked his front door to ensure emergency responders would have easy access to his home. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment below to let me know that you are still here with me. Just 3 minutes later, Thomas lost consciousness. Because the door was already unlocked, the paramedics were able to enter immediately. They quickly performed CPR and used an automated external defibrillator, AED, a device that can restart a stopped heart. Thanks to their swift action and Thomas's preparedness, his life was saved. His doctor later said something that stuck with Thomas: if your door had been locked, you likely wouldn't have survived. Those precious minutes made all the difference. When you unlock your door, be sure to open any outer gates or security barriers as well so stretchers and medical equipment can be brought in without delay. If you have pets, it's a good idea to keep them in a separate room so they don't interfere with emergency responders. If you live alone, consider sharing your door's passcode or where your keys are hidden with family members ahead of time. Smart locks or electronic keys are also excellent options to ensure responders can get in quickly if needed. If you've prepared this far, you're already taking fantastic steps toward protecting yourself. But we're not done yet. The last and most crucial action dramatically improves your chance of survival. Stay awake and avoid losing consciousness. You might be wondering, can staying awake make such a difference? The answer is a resounding yes. During a heart attack, your heart struggles to pump enough blood to deliver oxygen to your brain. This lack of oxygen increases the risk that you will lose consciousness. And if you pass out, your breathing may stop rapidly, leading to cardiac arrest, which can be fatal without immediate intervention. Here's what you need to do specifically to stay conscious. First, keep talking. If someone is with you, engage in conversation, talk about the time, the day, or whatever else comes to mind. If you're alone, talk to yourself. Say things like, "What time is it? What day is it? Is the ambulance almost here?" Talking stimulates your brain and helps keep you alert. Second, make small movements with your body. Don't stand or walk, but gently clench and unclench your fists or wiggle your toes. These little movements promote blood flow and help keep oxygen circulating to your brain. Third, keep the 911 call active. The dispatcher will be able to monitor your condition over the phone and guide you with first aid advice. They might ask, "How are you feeling? Can you breathe okay? How's the chest pain?" Responding to these questions not only helps the responders understand your condition better, but also keeps you focused and awake. Let me share one final story. William Harris, a 71-year-old man from Chicago, Illinois, was struck by severe chest pain late at night while at home. He called 911 and stayed on the line, continuously talking to the emergency dispatcher. "I'm short of breath, but still okay. I'm sitting on the sofa." By keeping the conversation going, William managed to stay conscious until the ambulance arrived. He was rushed to the hospital where he underwent emergency catheterization surgery and recovered without complications. The paramedics later told him, "Staying on the call and keeping yourself awake made a huge difference in your outcome." These 7 life-saving actions aren't just for when a heart attack happens. They're even more effective when you prepare and understand them in advance. Let's quickly review the key steps you should remember. Sit or lie down immediately. Call 911 right away. Chew an aspirin tablet. Breathe slowly and deeply. Contact family or someone nearby. Never drive yourself to the hospital. Stay awake and conscious. By following these steps, you give yourself the best possible chance to survive a heart attack and recover fully. Preparation and quick action truly save lives. Thank you so much for watching and taking the time to learn these life-saving steps. Now that you know the 7 critical actions to take during a heart attack, from sitting down immediately to staying awake and conscious, ask yourself, what is one thing you've learned today that you will put into practice right away? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. Your experience and commitment could inspire others to be prepared and stay safe. If you found this video helpful, please leave a comment, give it a thumbs up, share it with your family and friends, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. By doing so, you're helping us spread these vital lessons that can truly save lives. Stay safe, stay informed, and remember, every second counts.